Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to our game here between Paramount 2 and Northwesters being played at the Jimmy Powell Oval. And today is Sunday, March 16th. It's a bright, sunny day here in the Cayman Islands. The umpires are out on the pitch doing their final inspection, ready for the teams to come on out. And the news is that Paramount has won the toss and are batting. Northwesters will obviously field, and I'm currently awaiting the arrival of my two commentators for the day. And we are set for what should be a really exciting match today between Paramount, which is first at the top of the table, and Northwesters, who are third in the standings. So stay tuned. We should be starting shortly. And let's hope we have an exciting match here today. So I'm back with you here. Still awaiting the arrival of a commentator, but I'll try my best as we wait here. Northwesters has opened with Andre Palmer. He's bowling to Dino McInnes. And the person at the other end is Romaine Foster. And as usual, the pitch looks like a very good batting pitch here today. Nice and flat. There's a pitch report coming up shortly. Dino dabs that one out to short backward point, gets a single. And back here at the Jimmy Powell Oval, I'm still awaiting the arrival of our commentator. I've just been able to rope somebody in, so we should have a commentator very, very shortly.
Welcome everyone to this very big game between Norwester and Paramount. Paramount has won the toss and elected to bat, and it started pretty well. 28 without loss after 4.2 overs. Apologies for the late start. We had quite a bit to do. Fortunately, the production team was well ahead of us, and the streaming was live. However, the commentary we're just starting out, and I'm joined here by my co-host, who is Andre McCarthy. Sorry, I nearly got his name messed up. I'm looking at a different list here, but what a lovely, lovely, lovely atmosphere here today at the Jimmy Powell Oval. Beautiful day for cricket.
Yeah, I can see, nice sunshine, good wicket. So let's enjoy the good day of cricket.
I'm definitely looking forward to some fireworks. Earlier we did the pitch report, and when we looked at the surface, it looks so true, so hard, and it looks like if you hit through the line, you should be getting good value for your shots today. And on the other side of it, we hope Norwester would basically mix up the pace a little bit to make sure that runs doesn't get away. The Paramount is a very top-heavy batting unit, so if they get off to a good start, it could be quite dangerous. And we know from previous experience that this ground is a ground that you need to be scoring between 160 and 180 to be anywhere in with a chance to win here. So I'm looking forward to it there, Andre.
Yeah, as I can see, I think the opening pair doing fairly decent, going at about 4 runs and over. Normally in power play, on a wicket like this, you want to go about 6 to 7. So hopefully they can capitalize outside the power play. But for now, they're just going steadily. So let's watch and see.
And young Marlon is the one coming from the far end here at Jimmy Powell. He bowls short outside the off stump. That's it, over extra cover area, and it's gone all the way for 4. It's a pretty good shot considering it's a power play. You can play those shots and get away with it. And Romain went up and over, and it was 1-2 bounce into the boundary. I think Marlon has got to basically adjust his line. On a wicket, that's this true. You probably want to be a little bit straighter to the batsman at all times and trying to mix your pace up so that it don't pick you up off the surface so easily. That was just an easy shot for Romain, and it went all the way to the boundary for 4. And I'm sure his captain will say a word or two to young Marlon. But still very good to see a young man given the opportunity here to bowl in a very important game for Norwester. So I'm looking forward to see how it goes, if he's going to come back strong in this over. It'll be really good to watch.
Yeah, looking at Marlon how he's bowling, I think he needs to have a bit more plan, He needs to have a little bit more plan, just in front of the fielder.
I agree with that analysis, because just now he came back a little bit straighter, and I think that's probably better. You have a man at deep backward square. You don't want to be wide outside the off stump on a surface like this with the kind of field placements we have. But it is kind of tough bowling in the power play for the young man, but I think he will learn from this experience. And it's all good to see him. Norwester has got a history of always promoting youngsters. And if you look at the field right now, even young Wyatt is on the field. The under 19 captain, Eiffel, is also on the field. There's like 3 youngsters that are around the age of 20 and below that are on the field. Wyatt is around 15 years old, and he's at the top of the order. So I'm looking forward to see him bat later on. But this Norwester team always seems to give an opportunity to youngsters. So I'm really looking forward to see how they go today on such a good wicket.
Yeah, good off spinner coming on. So hopefully I will see his plan and his strategy bowling the final over of the power play. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, Vic is a wily old fox. And he'll be looking to exploit, mix his paces. And Vic over the years, when he bowls in the power play, tends to mix his pace up quite well. So there you go. And the first delivery is up in the air. It's a bowl and caught. This is unbelievable. After going so well, Romain just basically missed a complete long hop, and it just kind of hurried him a little bit on the back foot. He tried to pull towards the onside. It got caught trapped in the crease, and all he could do was just balloon the ball up in the air. And Vic did the work himself. Again, I told you this guy is such a clever bowler. I'm not sure that Romain played that very well, though, but in the end, it's a wicket down, and Paramount has finally lost their first wicket with 34 runs after 5 overs. That's quite remarkable. It's such a good wicket. There's really no need. he should have probably tried to have a look at him at the first delivery, Andre.
Yeah, as you could see, I think Romain get a bit tired right there. He never have any more steam in him. So that looked like a fitness issue right there.
Yeah, right. He looks a bit winded, and I mean, it's a hot day here in Jimmy Powell in West Bay in Cayman Islands. But I mean, I still think, batting and the new bowler comes on, you're not quite sure what he's going to do on the surface. You might want to have a look, one or two deliveries. You're going well. You're wickets down. 29 runs on the board after 4.4 overs. After 5 overs, I don't really see any reason to be playing that shot right away. And I mean, it just goes to show that even though it's such a good wicket, you still got to play proper cricket in order to get your runs.
Yeah, and based on that start, I think they could just, consolidate and just continue to push on the ball. Hopefully go deep in innings, but that's the first wicket. I think the skipper cannot come, so let's see how he approaches innings.
And he's been in a fine run of form as well. And I'm looking forward to see how he goes, because he would be waiting to get on the surface today. That one is down the leg side, and it goes for a wide. Paul Chin is back, wicket keeping for Northwester. Another player that I'm really excited to see back playing the game. Here he goes again. Lovely delivery onto the middle of the north stump. And you can see the change of pace. And the good thing about how clever he is, he changes his pace, and you don't really see much difference in his action. So he's a very, very handy bowler to have in your team. There you go again, and that's tucked into the onside. And skipper gets off the mark. But this is a good over so far from Vic. Apart from the wide, he's certainly gone very well. A wicket first ball, and wide a dot ball, and then just one into the onside. So let's just see how he closes this out.
Yeah, I like this field. I like this field changing from the skipper. I think knowing Kadna, he's a more like a leg side player, and I think they have the wrong feel up for him just now. I think they made the adjustment. So hopefully, for me watching the cricket, I would like to see the fielder squeeze more to you apply a bit more pressure more than giving away the easy single. So that's what I'm looking at so far.
Another good delivery there by Vic. Such a clever bowler. And I agree with you on that analysis. The fielders in the circle are quite deep. Other than the cover fielder, Omar Willis, number 11. He goes again and through the onside. Lovely shot by Dina McInnes. It's well played. Lovely shot between the deep backward square and fine leg. He's hit that one for 4. And even though it started out to be a very good over for Northwester, Vic has just got to close this over out, and it would be a good introduction to his bowling for this spell. But Dina there playing a lovely shot through the onside.
Yeah, I think they're a fielder down. I think they need a deep square leg. The fact that is our spinner bowling, so that ball should literally be a single. So hopefully they capitalize on that. And
again, that ball hit through the onside, and the mid-wicket fielder runs around, can't get to it. It's another boundary, and Dino McInnes has turned what started out to be a very good over from Vic and Northwester, has turned this over into Paramount scoring at least 10 runs from this over, ending with 2 boundaries off the last 2 deliveries. And that's the thing about this Paramount batting. You've got to be really careful. Their batting unit is very positive, 1 to 6, and you've just got to stay on your game. You can't let up. I think that Vic just missed the trick there a bit and start bowling a little too short, and giving Dino a lot of time to just get back onto the back foot and pull that ball into the leg side, and picked up 2 boundaries, and what turned that over basically into an over that Paramount are not too happy with at the moment. Looks like a new introduction to the bowling. Looks like Romain Mighty is now being introduced from the far end here at Jimmy Powell. The player that I saw in the last game when he played, more known for his batting, however, is a handy bowler, and I would love to see how he goes in this spell on such a good wicket. Paramount still going fairly well at this point. He's getting a bit of bounce there, and that was tucked neatly into the onside, by the skipper, come back for two, and easy two in the end. Possibility of a third run, however, McInnes ran past the wicket, the pitch, so he wasn't able to turn back. And there's 2 runs picked up by Codner. And this is the thing. Codner is the kind of player who is a diminutive little player. He will work the ball, get some singles early, and then can explode at any moment. So they need to make sure that they get him out in this period of his innings.
Yeah, he's normally been that type of starter where you look to push on the ball. But again, if you make Cardinal force him to play on the offside, I think he will struggle a bit. So hopefully they can see that and make that adjustment as quick as possible. He's very comfortable on his back foot. So once you get him playing on his front foot on the offside, I think they can challenge him a bit.
Dino is back on strike now. MIT's bowling around. It's a poor delivery. And Dino just sweep that one all the way to the boundary, down the fine leg area. And he's now faced 3 deliveries and hit 3 boundaries, so he's certainly found his range. And Norwestern need to be really careful because Dino is an explosive player that could take the game away from you in a matter of moments. So, and I actually think they're bowling the wrong line to him. Those 3 deliveries he's hit is on his leg stump, all 3 of them. They've got to come back a little straighter to him and try to change up the pace. That's a much better area. And you see there again, he's still looking to hit towards the onside, and it's a much better delivery from Mighty.
Yeah, you could see whenever the bowler forced the batsman to play on the offside, I think it caused a bit of issue, so they made that adjustment as quick as possible.
Again, a poor delivery down the leg side, and Dino helps himself to 1, maybe 2 runs here, and picked up by the fielder. Return comes in, so another 2 runs. They've got to make this adjustment, Andre. It's now at least, so he scored 4, 4, 4, 2.
All on the leg side.
All on the leg side. Really need to make this adjustment quickly. Mighty there just pulls up in his run. This field that they have, it might be suited even bringing that man that is that deep cover, because the ball, none of the players are hitting the ball through the cover. That man is actually wasted at the moment. Another over ends, and Norwester really got to rein this in a bit because Paramount is getting away, especially McInnes. He's getting off to a flyer here. And so we got to apologize for the score that you're seeing live on the screen. The technical difficulties, and we're here in the media area, so we're getting it adjusted, and we should have the correct score shortly. However, back to live cricket. Vic is back for his 2nd over, and he's bowling to McInnes. And they've got a man at deep backward square, a man at mid-wicket. And Vic is, and that's the area. It's pretty close. And it's kind of obvious now that when you don't need to be bowling on leg stump to Dino, you've got to come a little bit on an off stump and just change your pace. And Vic should be able to pick that up fairly quickly. He is a clever cricketer.
Yeah, I'm playing with him. So he bowl, I think he thinks the game a lot whenever he's bowling. So hopefully he can just bring that out there today. But all in all, this over start a bit better. So let's see what he have planned for this over.
Vic, who is originally from Guyana, played a lot of his cricket in Guyana before moving to the Cayman Islands with his family. Pretty good cricketer, good addition to the Cayman cricket scene. Is bowling on the off stump to Codner. Again, you can see clearly that the areas that they should be attempting to bowl is the off stump. And the batsman just does not look as comfortable in those areas, Andre.
No. I think the bowlers made the adjustment. I don't think he need to change anything. It's just that he need that square leg base and the off spin is bowling. He just need to bowl a bit slower and apply a bit more pressure just on top of off stump.
I agree, because these batsmen do prefer the ball through the leg side. Like, there you go again on the offside. You see that there's such a lot more tendency to. It doesn't have a lot of power through the offside, so you could clearly see that's where that Northwester should be attempting. And Vic is actually doing a pretty good job here in this over so far. Seems to be 3 men on the leg side to Dino. Again, he's pulling that one through the onside. It goes for a single. Young Eiffel does the fielding. And that's a much better over from Vic. And clearly, Andre, it's got to be the plan to bowl off stump.
Yeah, it's always been the plan. Once you in Cayman, that's the plan. Off stump, just outside off stump. Let them tug you where they want to tug you, but that's the plan. Just seeing the approach, I think they're restarting innings to finish strong. So let's see how they go. But Dino going good so far. Hopefully he can finish the inning strong.
And again, we apologize. We're trying to adjust the scores for you, and as soon as we have them, we'll let you know. I believe we've made some adjustments to the score, and I'm going to confirm shortly what the original score should be.
Again, you see, just by forcing the batsman to play outside. Yeah, just by getting a batsman to play on the off stump, I think it caused a lot of problem. So hopefully they can continue and pick up what they see.
Mighty's now back for his second over, and first over went. Well, he bowled a lot of balls on the leg side, again on the leg side, and that one is hit in the air and it's over the head of the fielder at long on, but it was inside the ropes, completely misjudged by Vic, and it's one bounce into the boundary for 4. And I think you have to say that was a chance.
Yeah. I think the fielder misread that ball. I think he came in too fast. He should have just settle first and then see what's the ball doing, because it's normally easier to dive forward than dive back. So I think that was an error from the fielder's point of view. So hopefully it will take us to know sometime soon.
Well, it's a game of cricket. You'll be very fortunate to get another attempt at redemption. However, as it stands, Codner has now helped himself to a boundary. However, risky it was. And you don't want to be giving away free boundaries on such a good batting wicket, or free wickets on such a good batting wicket. Got to take your chances. Through the offside again. Young Eiffel does the chase and returns that one to his fellow under 19 player, Wyatt. And Mighty is probably not happy with Vic at the moment. However, he's got to keep going.
Yeah, I am a bowler. I would have been upset too as well. So it's just the nature of the game. That I think that was a very clear chance. The fielder make a mess of it.
I agree. When you're working so hard and it's so difficult to get wickets, and then there's a chance, you're hoping that the teammates will give 100% to back you up. But I think it was completely misjudged there. Mighty seems to be not very comfortable with his run-up at the moment. And comes in now. bowled to Cardinal again through the leg side, and again that delivery into the leg stump is just not going to work on this surface, and to these players, basically such an easy shot for Cardinal to place. Absolutely no risk in that. An easy shot over long on for 6. And Cardinal again, this over, again started out fairly good, has now gone for a boundary, 2 boundaries, 1-6 and a 4. And I think Norwester should be able to see the plot by now and understand that that line is not going to work. It's just got to be outside our stump, changing the pace up a little bit in order to get the batsman trying to hit through the offside. I've been waiting here. I've not seen one shot through the offside, and that clearly says to me that they're bowling the wrong line.
Yeah, looking at the over the first couple of ball, I think every ball that gone the offside, they literally get a single out on the half stump. Every other ball was scored on the leg side. So I think the captain and the bowler should talk about it and make an adjustment. It should be a conscious team effort, and just look at the game and try to sum it up as quick as possible. But for now, I don't think the bowlers are thinking at the moment bowling to the Paramount batsman.
I guess from the perspective of Norwester, they're probably thinking 7 runs and over at this stage on such a good wicket. It's not out of their reach. And maybe they'll be thinking another good couple overs here, maybe a couple wickets, could really swing the game into their favor. But at the same time, at this rate, Paramount is going, you're looking at a pretty large score. If they score anywhere around about 8 to 9 runs and over for the last 10 overs, you're still looking at 160, 170 runs. Again, a full delivery on the leg side, and I think Omar may have got away with that one because Dino just tucked that one through the onside for 1. But this is just not the right line at this stage. Omar comes in again on the offside and is tucked into the offside for 1. Codner, a quick single. Vic attempting for the run out. And it's just so clear that once you're bowling that off stump line, it does make a huge difference. And I'm hoping that for the sake of good cricket, that Northwest will make that adjustment.
Just looking at it, I think the short fielder should be in more a bit. I think the short fielder should stop the single inside of the circle. So I think the fielders are hanging back too much on the circle, and it's caused a single. So bowler bowling good ball and is still going for single.
Again, another area I think we could make some changes. If you're going to be in the circle saving a single, you're better off saving that single and not just allowing that easy one and get the batsman taking the runs over, and then dispatching the bad deliveries for a boundary. Again, another delivery outside the off stump that goes without scoring. And Omar seemed to have acknowledged that the line that he needs to bowl is on the offside. There you go, a lovely delivery from Omar again. A good change of pace, and that's what's really required on a surface this good.
So what do you notice? Once the bowler forced the batter to play on the offside, I think the batters are struggling real bad, right?
I completely agree, and it should be quite obvious by this stage that once you go leg side, like this one is hit into the onside, in between the fielders, another boundary hit into the onside, and Northwester really got to get a rein on this. It's very clear. All the boundaries so far have been scored through the onside, other than the wide long hop early on the innings. For the last 5 deliveries, all through the onside.
Yes, I just think bowlers just need to adjust a bit more. I think the leg spinner coming back for his third over. Hopefully, he think about it during the last over and just try to make the batsman adjust as much as possible. He as the bowler need to adjust, but try to let the batsman adjust as much as possible.
So Paramount now moves on to 76, and importantly, only 1 wicket down. And with their batting lineup, I'm expecting fireworks towards the end. Again, another delivery on the offside, and Dina's trying to hit it through the onside. And I mean, I can't stress this enough, but we've said it so much in commentary that the line on this wicket to the Paramount players is through the on the off stump. Mighty again goes on the off stump again. Another dot ball on that off stump line. And this is much better from Mighty. And let's just see if he can consistently keep that area outside the off stump. Again, another delivery on the offside, and McInnes is also trying to hit that through the onside. He rehearsed the shot, but that's not really the shot you want to be playing. And at that delivery, he's getting a lovely bounce from the height that he's delivering. He's a tall guy, and therefore he gets a bit of bounce. So McInnes really needs to be careful he doesn't top edge the ball to short third man playing that shot. And he's bowled. Lovely delivery. Mighty just held that one back, and that one just kept a little bit low, and the pace changed. You could see it from the air that he didn't put as much in that delivery, and Dino was through the shot way earlier than the ball got to him, and his off stump is pegged back. And to be fair, Mighty deserved that wicket. He's bowled really well so far in this over, and here's from the replay. He's tossed that one up and held it back quite lovely, and the off stump is hit back, and McInnes just was not approaching those deliveries in the right way, trying to hit it through the onside. He's a fine player when he's in good form, but hitting those deliveries through the onside was just not the right approach. And Mighty's rewarded for his consistency on the offside, and he's picked up his first wicket, and now Paramount are 76 for 2.
Yeah, I think that this over is the best over so far the innings, where they challenge the batsman to score on their weaker side, and as you could see by the fourth ball, there was a fall of a wicket. So hopefully they can make that adjustment and just continue to apply pressure.
And Karthik walks to the wicket, and another player that is in good touch, and originally from India. A lovely addition to the Cayman Cricket community, has switched legions this year, playing for Paramount, and has found himself in the top 6 and been playing quite well, getting along well with his teammates, has really been batting quite well this season. Looking forward to see what he's going to do today. The first delivery is on driving that one to a long on, a quick single take and a fantastic running. And they ran 2. I think a direct hit would have been close, but Codner is probably one of the quicker runners on that Paramount team, so I think he backed himself to get back.
On the island.
On the island. I agree. He is pretty quick. You know, when the Mach 60 came around, his nickname was called Fast Legs, because he got across the ground so quickly. And that one is on the offside, again, just tucked to short cover. And Codner is from a school that has a lot of track athletes. He's from a place in Jamaica called Manchester, where Manchester High School historically has always produced really good athletes. So maybe he could have probably been a track star. He's quite quick.
Yeah. You know, from Manchester, we have a lot of track and field school. You know, home would always stand out in the girl department. So I think he get it from the other side.
Yes, I mean, you're making mention to Homewood Technical, another school in that Manchester area that has produced a number of athletes. And Omar is now continuing his spell from the Jimmy Powell Oval and short into the pitch, and that's pulled into the onside. Young Marlon has picked that one up and sends the return back to Paul Chin. And Omar I think he may have got away with that one. That one was a bit too short. However, he does have 3 men on the onside.
To be honest, this is the first time I've seen Paul Chin with the gloves. I think he looked very composed. From what I'm seeing, he's looking very compact as a wicket keeper so far, the few balls that I see.
Yeah, and a little bit of story on Paul Chin. Over the years, he's been a fine wicket keeper very quick hands, also a pretty handy batsman as well. And we, over the years, has always been sort of the best wicketkeeper we had on Ireland. He's bowled by Omar, and that's tucked in the onside for a quick single. And I think they're going to challenge the fielder here. And it's a 2 that's well run. It's beautiful. It's really good cricket. And so back onto that story of Paul Chin. He played into a competition and came back and decided he was going to do bodybuilding. And in a matter of months, he was competing and did extremely well. I'm really fascinating to see what he transformed himself into in about a matter of 2 or 3 months. But so good to have him back in cricket and looking very fit, and should be a good addition. And I'm pretty sure his eyes is set on that ICC World Cup qualifiers in Canada that's due to be held in Canada in June of this year. And I'm sure he's looking for an opportunity there, so I'm sure he's keen to impress the coaching staff and the selection team here. And I agree with you, he does look a good, compact wicket keeper. So
I want to mention the Cricket Association. I think that new nets that they reconstruct, I think it's bringing a buzz into the country, you know. It's promoting a lot of cricket. I see a lot of players coming back out, so I just want to say thanks to Cayman Cricket. I just want to say thanks to Cayman Cricket Association for continuing to keep on improving the facilities and get players coming out back. I see a lot of players coming out back at practice.
And I don't know if I can comment too much on that, because I was part of the team, the board that basically made the decision to get that facility up and running. And my main guy in the production team today, Rob, who also was very instrumental in that. I mean, we could give you a little bit of background, but the board met and we made some very big decisions on how we want cricket to move forward. And one of the key areas we mentioned, Andre, was that as a group, we wanted to start to see the facilities improve. And we made some decisions at the beginning of the year that the nets would be one of the areas we'll focus on immediately. And we went for it, and I can tell you that with a lot of help, I got to send a special mention, Jalen, who is actually a member of the Nor'Wester team. I'm not seeing him on the field today. Normally, Cotton is hitting that one in the air. It's going to fall short of the fielder. Oh, he got there in the end, but good attempt by Vic. What an opportunity to redeem himself from the drop earlier, or the missed chance earlier. And that would have been spectacular. And I'm sure he would have felt much better about himself had he taken that catch, Andre.
I think because they're more of a disappointment more than dropping the catch, so hopefully he's okay.
He's a fine cricketer, so I expect him to be ready for the next one. And yeah, and on that topic of the facilities, as a board, the decision was made that the facilities would be an area. Oh my God, there's a mix-up here. Kartik did not get a response from his partner at the other end, and Kartik is now run out. That's a horrible mix-up. I don't understand what was the real reason for that run there. It went straight to the fielder. No response from Kodna, and Kartik just ran down the wicket. Not sure.
I think going too fast when I run in between the wicket. They think that everything they can get a single fast. So that was just a clear misunderstanding from Kartik's side.
Yeah, that's quite an unfortunate mix-up, because they were going pretty well. And they're running between the wickets. Was also a highlight of this partnership so far. So this is quite an unfortunate mix-up. And now come to the wicket is Raquel Walker, another player who recently returned from his exploits in Argentina for the Cayman Islands in the ICC Americas Division II competition. Didn't fare a lot as much as he wanted to down there, so let's see what he's going to do today. But also another player. I was on the edge past the keeper. It's going to get close to the boundary. Fila gives a chase, and they ran two. It's a good run in there. And it seems the ball seems to be pinging all over the field at the moment. And Andre, and back on the topic of the facilities, I think at some point we'll get a chance to talk a little bit more about that. But at the moment, with the fall of that wicket, the running seems to be continuing. To be fair, Raquel is also pretty quick through the wicket, through the pitch.
Yeah, he's always a fast runner between the wickets, so I think they have to stay very close to him.
Another delivery on the offside.
Another dot ball on the offside.
And another dot ball. The umpire is 2 deliveries to go. And the score is now 87 for 3 after 12.4 overs. I would have to say that Northwester has pulled it back somewhat. Not a good delivery on the offside. Mighty is really coming into his own here in this over. And he's bowled another good delivery. He's a tall leg spinner and gets a lot of bounce. Looks a good action, good strong action through the crease. And he's up again on the offside. And Codner is trying to reverse sweep, and the wicketkeeper is out. That's a beautiful stumping, Andre.
I told you, I know players when I see them, you know. Just how his look, how he look behind the stump, how he collect, he just like a keeper, he do everything like a keeper. So I know one from I see one.
I have to agree with you. He does look very tidy, and coming back after such a long break, it's quite exciting to see him back playing and doing what he does best. I'm sure that's going to do a lot for his confidence, having been away so long. And in his first game, he's now picked up a stumping to help his team on a pretty good batting track. These are the sort of chances you want to take. And he looked at the replay, and Codner, I guess that's from the pressure that Mighty built. He just could not hit the ball through the offside and reverted to try and slug sweep. And Mighty just kept his line, and the wicketkeeper, Paul Chin, did the rest. And this is just so clear now that the off stump is the line to be bowling.
Again, Paul Chin, this guy, I saw him sometime in the week, decide that he's going to start playback. So again, I must big up the Cricket Association for just that. He let a lot of players coming back want to play back the sport, seem like they're enjoying the sports again. So we can go up from here. It's a building process.
I have to share the same sentiment. I had a conversation with the president, Mr. Courtney Miles, and he was so pleased with the construction of the facility and spent quite a bit of time at the ground talking to individuals and embracing the fact that this was a wonderful achievement in such a short space of time. And we've got cricketers that coming back out and an opportunity to train. And Paul Chin was certainly one of those players, and here he is today. Mighty goes around the wicket to the left-hander and bowls a beautiful slider, and that one beats the bat on the off stump. Again, a lovely over from Mighty. And I have to say, at this stage, Andre, that Northwester is pulling this one back.
Yeah, I think they're pulling it back. I think the game, I think this is a balance. I think I'm looking at about 140, 150 score.
Well, at this stage, they really will have to get a going from this here on to get a nice platform, a slight rebuild after losing 2 quick wickets. They should be attempting to do a slight rebuild at this stage and then maybe look to go in the last 5 overs. Jermaine Lewis has joined Raquel Walker at the crease, and he's left-handed. And this might disrupt the Northwester bowling a little bit. So we'll got to see. Raquel might need to take charge. But the good thing about this is that there's 2 new batsmen at the crease. And Northwester would be quite happy with the situation at this point. And that's a much better line from Omar.
I think Omar is really a thinking cricketer, he's a fighting cricketer. So he will go out there and try his best.
I have to agree with that. It's been around for quite some time, and it's been an important member of the senior team for many years now, and knows the game quite a bit, and obviously trying to seize this opportunity and get a few dot balls in, possibly picking up another wicket. And again, another delivery on the offside, and the batsman is trying to hit it through the onside. And I think this has been the downfall of Paramount's batting so far. We haven't seen many boundaries scored through the offside when the ball is on the outside the off stump. So that's an area that they could really, really work on. That's a lovely delivery, sliding down leg maybe, not out by the umpire. And Omar is backing up that lovely over from the far end from Mighty with a good over so far. He's going through and around to the left-handed Lewis. And that one is full. That one looks out. Yes, it is. No doubt from the umpire. And that's a beautiful delivery by Omar. It's drifted into the pads.
I give it out from here.
Yeah, it was so clear. That was such a beautiful delivery. Around the wicket, and nice, full, and straight delivery. And completely missed it. Lewis was trying to tuck that one and just completely missed the delivery. And from there on, it just looked out, Andre. It's just no doubt in my mind that the umpire was going to give that one. And it's just a nod of the head. And the batsman was on his way. Here's it from the replay. Oh, lovely. It's right in front of the middle stump. Omar didn't even look too long at the umpire. Ran off celebrating. He knew that was out from the moment he hit Lewis on the pads in front of the stumps. He knew that one was out. And Omar is backing up a fantastic over from the far end of Mighty with another good over here. 4 deliveries in, a wicket, and a couple dot balls and a single only. And Northwestern must be feeling much better about their position right now at this moment, while the captain, well, the national captain, as in this game, Paramount's captain is Codner, but the national captain, Conroy Wright, walks to the crease. And a player that you probably want to have a platform set and then ask him to come to the crease to finish. However, he's in a bit earlier than I think he anticipated when he saw that pitch today. And he's got to face up to Omar, who is bowling quite well. Got that ball to just drift nicely, Andre, into the pads. And the batsman completely misread the line.
Yeah, by looking at the batsman, I think he were falling over a bit from the first ball he gets. So Omar himself, knowing that once he pitched the ball straight, he will play across it.
And he's going to try and close this over out now. Very good length, very good line from Omar. It's really good bowling from him. This is an excellent over so far. 1 delivery to go, and he's done fantastic for his team. And he's really thinking about his bowling. He's telling the fielder to go around a little bit squarer. I'm assuming he's trying to close this over out. Another great delivery from Omar. Excellent length, excellent line. And that was just a fantastic over, Andre.
Yeah, I think it's a good over. I think, as I said, Omar sum up the situation and he bowling, so you know what is required to go out there and bowl. So that's what he's doing so far.
And his teammate, Paul Chin, just gave him the high five to say, well done, mate, because they know this pitch is a very good pitch. And if the players get off, if a batsman get off to a really good start and decides to bat here, it's very difficult to get him out. So I think his teammate is just showing his appreciation. And you look at the partnerships here, and Foster has made 27 from 23 balls. Tino went well for a moment. He was 22 runs, and just towards the end just lost his way and had a number of dot balls and then ended up getting out to a delivery on the off stump. Codner, 28, also got frustrated outside the off stump and just went across the line and got stumped brilliantly by Paul Chin. And Karthik must be disappointed with himself. Running down the wicket, run wasn't on. But Paramount has, from a good position, is now in a spot of bother. And Norwester pulling out all the stops now. They've brought back Vic, who, the native of origin from Guyana. And as I said before, a very, very clever bowler. And I think it's the right time to bring him back when the batsmen are going to try to look to rebuild. He is clever enough to outsmart them at this stage. Another delivery on the offside, Andre. That's not gone for a dot ball.
Honestly, I like what I see from Northwest team. I think they come back into the game. But for me, I like Opalchin. He's just like he just look as a keeper. Just like the look everything. He just look like he's ready to come and play some cricket. So hopefully you guys encourage him to come and play more cricket. Since I've been here, probably I see like a proper wicket keeper, which he has that look of a wicket keeper.
I have to agree, Andre. And I saw him having a conversation with a board member this morning, and I overheard a line saying, make sure that you're pushing yourself forward to train with the national team. So I'm assuming that must be the target for this young man. He's got to put himself or put his hand up, at least give himself a chance. He just looks the part. And that one is tucked in the onside by Conroy, and they come back for two. Raquel is pretty quick through the wicket, so I decided to take the arm on of Mighty. It looks like he was on the long on boundary, and wasn't a really good throw in the end, and Raquel got him safely.
I think the boundary fielders have to anticipate, you know what I mean? They have to do. Players in the circle and the boundary fielder, them have to anticipate. This is the time of the innings where players looking to whenever the ball goes in the deep. So you have to just know the time of the game, the situation of the game, and just continue to push yourself in the field. You have to keep on watching the ball or watching the batsman, because it's anytime now, once the ball goes in the deep, batsmen are looking to run hard to try and get two.
And at 93 for 5 of 14.4 overs, at this stage, Norwester will be trying to get this Paramount team under 150, which means for the next 5 overs, they've got to be really, really clever and maybe maintain that off-stump line. It's clearly working.
You saw the keeper there? He stopped a single just now.
And I just love to see good cricket. And he was quick round behind the stumps to make sure that the batsman can't take a quick single. And it's really good cricket from the young man. He's come back and looked the part. And quite pleasing to watch him.
Honestly, from what I see here, September compared to now, I think, I see more flexibility in guys and how they're playing. I think they look more agile, they look more excited, they want to play, and stuff like this you want to see in Cayman Cricket. The cricket get back a buzz, have back a buzz, and players start to look forward to come on the weekend and play, and that's the plan that you want for the cricket and for the players.
Agreed. I think cricket needs that sort of energy in order for it to move forward. And we've worked really hard here in Cayman. Looking at the bowling figures so far, Andre Plummer up front, 2 overs, 10 runs. And Damon Gill, also 2 overs, 10 runs. Went at 5 runs and over. Only young Marlon went for 11. And Vic, sly old fox, as I would call him, his 3 overs went for 20 and picked up 1 wicket. And then Mighty, who I believe started the whole redemption of Norwester, has bowled his 4 overs, 2 for 29. He could be quite happy with his exploits today. And Omar has just been brilliant so far. 3 overs, 1 for 13, and he's back for his 4th and final over. He's just been brilliant, and he's bowling to Conroy right, and he's back of a length, which I think to Conroy, if you're back of a length on the off stump, is not a bad area to miss your length on. And it's a good throw. However, we've been singing praises of Paul Chin all day, and that might have been a chance. I think he just basically approached that delivery wrong with his hand position, and the ball ended up passing, and Raquel was able to get home. And a very rare mistake. All day has been pretty good, but that was definitely a chance. Oh, well bowled by Omar. Another good delivery. and a quick single take, and Raquel would look to do this all day. It's not so much Conroy's game, but Raquel will look to hit into the gaps and take the single. And the onus is now on the fielders in the inner circle to be a little bit tighter to Raquel. I would suggest that even that man at cover is just a bit too deep. He's not really saving a single there, and there's someone behind him, so there's no need for him to be that deep. The ball is hit through the offside again, and the man at point runs to do the fielding, and they got another single. Conroy was not interested in a second run there. Raquel looked up and saw that his partner was turned to him and had no intentions of taking a second run.
I think that was a single.
Omar is really, really doing well for his team here. Into his fourth over, and just really bowling clever. He's mixing up his pace and being very meticulous with his field placement. He's dropped those ring fielders deeper. I guess they would love to give Raquel that single, get Conroy off the strike for the next over. And with 2 deliveries to go, 1 delivery to go, I'm not sure that tactic.
I think that tactic for Raquel, you really need him to bat as much ball as possible to just give him the easy single. That's easy. I think Conroy is the one with more power. That's the one that you want off strike, but you need Raquel on strike.
I agree. Another good delivery by Omar. He's definitely picked up the pace and the length of this wicket and bowling quite well. And a fantastic spell by Omar. And we'll get his figures up shortly, but I'm pretty sure he'll be quite pleased with his efforts today. A really, really good spell from him. And I think it's a bowler that is underused quite a bit and has the ability to bowl really, really good deliveries. And there he is. His 4 overs only went for 20 runs. And for 1 wicket, I think that's just fantastic from him. And so far, him and Mighty and Vic has been the pick of the bowlers for Northwestern, has led the charge to this resurgence by the Northwestern team. And could have had another wicket that last over with the run-out chance. I'm sure Paul Chin is thinking about this now. He's looked really good all day up to this point, and I'm sure he's thinking about it. And sometimes when you leave the game for a while, some things don't click. That's why we were quite surprised at how good he was wicket keeping. And so, I mean, we're all humans. I'm sure he'll be thinking about that and correct it for the next time that opportunity comes.
Yeah, you could see that he has very good technique and he's very compact. He's just a little more practice. I think the new facility will get him out a bit more often, so we'll come and do some work.
Couldn't agree more. And the pace is back into the attack, and that one is sliding on the leg side, but tucked through the onside for a single. Looking for the second was Raquel Walker, and he was sent back by Conroy. And a good start there by the pace bowler, who the ball seems to be, I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but that ball seemed to have kept a little bit low and not expected on the surface. I'll pay close attention this over to see what the ball is really doing. And that one is down the leg side.
For me, I would have bring in the covers. I would have bring in the covers to third man. I would have bring cross short third man to mid wicket, and force Raquel to try to score on the offside. That would be my plan to him.
Yeah, so far he's been very comfortable playing through the onside. And again, that line is on the leg stump. I'm not sure that is what the captain is asking Chenko to bowl at this stage to Raquel, because that's easy for him to hit the ball through the onside. I think the better option is to bowl onside the off stump and ask him to hit through that area. And Conroy is a slightly different prospect. You can't really miss your length with him. And again, he missed his length, and that's hit over long on. Couldn't quite see what happened with the fielder there, but it's gone for 6. And as I said it, Andre, Schenkel came a little bit too close to the batsman in length, and that's the difference. When you have a short player and a tall batsman at the crease, as a bowler, you've got to make that adjustment.
What if I told you that Conroy and probably Dunker, just by watching them playing, and I would not say they are the best player here, but how they rotate the strike whenever they go out there to bat, you could see a difference in their technique and how they play. Other players are strong, but either they're strong on either side. But if you see how Dunker and Conroy approach their innings, I notice whenever they go to bat, you always see a difference. Conroy never have a problem starting.
I have to agree with that. The main thing about him is that he has more options as a player. And if you're on his off stump, he hits the ball lovely to the offside and he could take a single. And he hits the ball lovely to long off, long on area. And when there's a good delivery, and then when it's the bad delivery, when he comes into his area, he's able to hit the ball and clear the boundary. And I must say, Andre, that I'm very fortunate. I've been at the non-striker end with him, 4 century partnerships for Cayman Islands national team. And I'm telling you, when he's at it, he can be quite destructive, a player. And here it is again, hitting that ball through the onside. And he just hits the ball down the ground so easy. And as a matter of fact, at one point, when he hits the ball, I used to, as the non-striker, go wide of the crease and stand really wide because he hits the ball back at the bowler so hard. Some of the time, if you're in the firing line, it could be dangerous. So I know him very well, and he seems to have picked up exactly what his job is here today. Again, Raquel is hitting that one through the onside. A delivery that's on the off stump, and he's hitting it through the onside, and that's the difference with a player like Conroy Wright. And at the end of the over number 17, 114 for 5, Paramount has started their rebuild process, and another 3 overs to go. They'll be hoping to get another 35 runs to get to at least a score of 150 and put a challenging score on the board for Norwester, who also has a pretty decent batting lineup, even though they're missing the likes of Troy Taylor and what seems to be Jalen seems to be missing as well. And I want to talk a little bit more. I know you've been edging me to find out a little bit more about the facilities, and I mentioned Jalen, and at the break we're going to go through a little bit of an interview. I would love to hear the views of Rob, who is a member of the executive. So I will pose a few questions to him just to give you a little bit more insight into the thought process of the board. And we have a number of players that are involved with that entire plan from the board. So it will be good to join us at the break, where we'll have a discussion about some of the plans that we have in place here in Cayman. And as I said, we'll look to do an interview with Robert, who is here, a member of the executive board, and to hear his views and what we're seeing. And as you quite rightly pointed out, certainly has brought a new energy to the game here in Cayman.
Yeah, definitely. You could see it in the players, players turning up on to train, and eventually it will take a time, but you will definitely see it out there in the park.
And it starts with a wide, and at this stage, it's not what is required. I'm sure the skipper is hoping that that off-stump line is the way to go to Raquel at this stage. It's very clear. And starting on that leg side, it's just not the way to go at this stage. So Damian Gale starts from the Jimmy Powell end. And first delivery a wide, a single now. And this is what I think Paramount tactic will be from here on. Raquel will try to get off strike very early in the over to give Conroy the option, who is a much better player, clearing that boundary. And I think he's quite comfortable batting against both pace and spin. And Gale needs to be in this over, needs to probably change his pace up a bit. You can't get too full to Conroy. He just hits so easy through the line of the ball. You cannot afford to miss your length. Again, that's close up in the air. It's wide of the man at long on. Takes one boundary and misjudged by the youngster, and it's into the boundary for 4. And Conroy is continuing to pick up boundaries at this late stage for Paramount. And maybe when White could have ran around that a little bit better, and Conroy is happy to take that boundary. But I'm sure this will be the plan of Paramount for the next 2 overs into the end, for Raquel to get off strike and allow Conroy to free his hand. And so far it's been working. And Gail needs to be really careful here not to get so close to Conroy. Again, a lovely delivery. That's a much better delivery. Wide outside the off stump, and asking Conroy to reach for that. But Andre, he does have the ability to hit the ball over the offside, so Gail has to make sure that his length is perfect in this over.
Yeah. I think after that ball before, I think he start to go a bit wider. Hopefully, he just continue there, and hopefully Conroy adjust a bit too as well.
Again, lovely length to Conroy at this stage and the line. And I think if you want to see a batsman who is looking for the ball full, prefers the ball full, you've got to be smart and pull your length back a bit, and also try to stay outside the off stump. If you get a bit close to Conroy, you'll pay dearly for it. So Gail so far is bowling with some thought, and I could take that as a captain. You don't mind that because you can see what Gail is trying to do here, Andre. He's definitely asking Conroy to reach for the delivery and not giving him any easy shots in the areas that he likes. If you bowl straight to him and it's on the off stump, he's going to hit through the line and it's going to go all the way. So you're much better off going wide of the off stump. Another good delivery here by Gail.
As I said, when you're bowling in this time of the innings, I think it's easier to take 2 wide than go straight and get 2-6. So it's easier to adjust the line from out there than come straight to the bottom and get hit for 2-6. So in cricket, in other format that I watch and played in, I think players adjust that way.
Oh,
that
that's outside the off stump.
Again,
and I think it's caught behind.
Again, that's chin again. Again, that's chin.
Conroy is walking, so he didn't even wait on the decision by the umpire. And again, that's just reward for Gail, who I thought bowled with a really good plan this over to Conroy and made sure that he stayed wide of the off stump and asking Conroy to reach for that delivery. Conroy staying like side of the delivery trying to hit, and just basically just all he could was look at the replay. That delivery was deliberately bowled wide of the off stump and would have probably been called a wide, but Conroy got a nick onto it, and Paulchin, who is having a pretty good day, has now helped his team with a catch behind. And Captain Conroy, who was poised to do a lot of damage in this over, is now gone after playing a nice little cameo. But I just think that was just really clever from Gail. He picked up and summed up the situation quite quickly, that he cannot afford to go straight and full to Conroy anywhere in his area. He will go the distance. And so that length, that line, and the adjustment in his run-up as well, Andre. He was actually in his run-up when Conroy attempted to advance down the pitch, and then he just basically went even wider. I think that's really clever. And all Conroy could do is just get a nick on it straight to Paul Chen.
Again, you have to give praises to everybody to bring out back. Seem like one of the better wicketkeeper in the country. To me, that's what I'm seeing so far. I've been here for I spent 2.5, 3 months here. Been playing and just looking around, and to see somebody for the first time, as I said, coming back, he looked very, very good. I'm very impressed with him.
I share the same sentiments. I think he's always been known to be the best glove man we have on island. And we just went away, as I said, went off to do bodybuilding and did quite well in that. from a family of personal trainers and bodybuilders, so he's not new to that sport. However, he took a time off from cricket and did a lot of that work and ended up competing quite and did extremely well. And he's come back looking so fit and looks like he's enjoying his game today, and it's so good to see.
Yeah, it's always good when you enjoy something that you love.
Slugsy, lovely shot for 6, all the way, and that's the danger of bowling in those leg stump areas. And I know Vic will make this adjustment where he knows that that line is just not the line to be bowling over number 18. And this is, look from the replay. So again, from the good work that was done at the other end, Vic has got to come back and basically go back to that off-stump line and try not to go in the areas that Raquel loves it. He's waiting for that delivery on the leg side to be able to hit in that area, which is a strong area. So Vic was need to make this adjustment. It's over. Let's see what he does. Again, Joan, the leg side. This is just not good bowling from someone that I know thinks quite a lot about the game. And I'm sure he will want to make the adjustment. And this over could go pretty bad pretty quickly if he doesn't. Raquel's been there for a while now and looks a bit winded after that second run. However, if you're going to be bowling that length and that line to him, it's easy pickings. I'm sure Vic has noticed this and will make the adjustment.
Yeah, I think the plan to Raquel just to bowl wide, force him to reverse sweep. That's his next option.
Again on the off stump, and see it easily catch to the bowler, and Vic is not going to drop that. And that's just pretty clever in the end. Making the adjustment. Took him 2-3 deliveries to make the adjustment, but it was so obvious from here. You could see it clearly that he did not want the ball on the off stump, and he's now out to that delivery from the outside, trying to pull that to the leg side, and only was able to pop the ball up in the air back to the bowler. And that is from the, are we able to, from the replay, you can see Vic has deliberately bowled that ball on the off stump, and Raquel's left foot is outside the leg stump, trying to play the ball that's on his off stump, and only managed to hit that ball up in the air back to the bowler. And that was just not very clever from Raquel, because you could see clearly what Vic was trying to do. He's already hit a 6 in the over. There is no need to try and drag that ball through the onside. All he needed to do was there's a big gap on the offside. Like, there's literally nobody at deep cover. So if he stays his ground and hit that ball over the cover area, it's an easy boundary at this stage. That's just not clever batting after being at the crease for so long. And Vic is bowling again on the offside, and this is, I feel, has just joined us here, another player that is pretty quick through the wicket and looks to get those quick singles. And also, so now 2 new batsmen at the crease, just the situation that Norwester was hoping for, Andre.
Yeah, I think Northwest pulled back the game a lot. I think they pulled it back. I was looking at 150. Now the score look like about 142, 143.
And at the end of the 19th over, 134 for 7. I just think Norwester just kept picking up wickets.
2 balls to go.
It's 2 deliveries to go. Norwester just kept picking up wickets and basically putting a lid on the innings of Paramount. And Vic is settling nicely here after bowling those 2 very poor deliveries up front. Is finishing this over beautifully. And as I tell you before, he's a clever cricketer. I really expected this adjustment anyway. And he's now in for his last delivery to close this over outside the off stump. And just for a single, they'll take that. And that's lovely work. Just great hands from Paul Chin again. He looks so competent behind the stumps. The way he picks that ball up is sort of what you want to see. But lovely over from Vic in the end. And apart from that first delivery that went for 6 and that second delivery that was a wide down the leg side, finished over pretty quickly, and that's the end of his spell. And he apart from drop catching the deep, has played his part today in pulling that score back from Paramount. And I think overall Paramount might be a little bit disappointed in the way they went about the middle portion of their innings. They just never seemed to play with any real plan. It was sort of like whatever happens, and it was very evident, and they kept losing wickets because the plan wasn't very clear. And Norwester, to their credit, really executed once they picked up that the line needs to be outside off stump. Really executed well, and is rewarded in the end with wickets in regular intervals. And now what would have been 150 to 160 looks like a score of somewhere about 140 plus, which is much more manageable on this surface. Now, as last over of pace, 2 new players at the crease, it's really now up to Alistair Eiffel, who another native of Guyana originally, but certainly a stalwart in the Cayman cricket scene over the years. Again, good delivery on the off stump, driven in through the offside, and Adrian is coming back for a second, and his partner, Alistair Eiffel, was not interested, sent him back, and that first delivery went for 1. And I think Norwester would be quite happy with Adrian on strike. He does hit the ball, but he's not as gifted all around the surface as Alistair Eiffel is, so, but he's also a very good player. A lovely delivery there by Chenko, wide outside the off stump, and I think when you Palmer is bowling here, not Chenko, it's Palmer just bowling. Yeah, the shirt has completely thrown me off. However, when you see a batsman that picks a bat up like that and has that stance, you know they're looking for you to bowl full to them. So this is actually quite a clever plan to bowl back of a length to Adrian. And you just got to see him, how he looks in his stance. You know he wants the delivery full. And I think Palmer is trying to bowl back of a length to mitigate that risk of getting hit down the ground, which is what Adrian is probably looking to do. I feel now to face up to this last 4 deliveries, that was signal a wide. Lovely delivery again. All Alistair had to do was satisfy him with a single in the offside, and this is just really good from Norwest at this stage. Closing out this innings, lovely. And the score moves on to 140 with another 3 deliveries to go. And as long as he could bowl back of a length to Adrian, and not too short, just back of a length, he'll be okay. That's too full at this stage with the field that we have. So at the end of the day, another 2 runs and 3 runs. Oh, that's fantastic running. Wow, that is really good running. That's really good cricket from Alistair Eiffel. He definitely was looking for that 3rd run and had no hesitation to go back for that 3rd. Knew he was going to the danger end and decided he was going to go and got there safely in the end. And Palmer now sets his field for this last 2 deliveries. And I feel the leg spinner from the Paramount team will be looking towards thinking about his bowling in the second innings. And Palmer is into him now. Lovely delivery, good adjustment. Alistair only could successfully throw that ball into the offside, and it's not a good throw. And Alistair was pretty quick, is back for a second, quite easily in the end. And so far, I think Norwester will be quite comfortable with this over so far, Andre.
Yeah, it's a 5 shot of the score I predicted first.
Yes, I agree. That's gone for a wide, and they've taken a single, so that's 2 runs. And 3 runs in the end. And again, that was just a gift in there. Paul Chin should have just held on to that at this stage. So it's a wide and 2 runs, which is an additional 3. So the score moves on to 148 with 1 delivery to go. You might just be on to your prediction earlier, Andre.
Yeah, the thing with bodybuilding is that Parchin cannot throw the ball. He cannot throw the ball. He's too thick.
He's ripped us with lots of muscles, and that was not going to be one of his strengths, I assume.
No. Looking at how he's trying to throw the ball, he cannot.
Last delivery here, and it's full outside the off stump, and it's missed, and that's a dot ball to finish the innings. So Norwester, I believe this score is gettable on this surface and only requires some sensible batting, just over a run a ball or more than a run a ball to get. And on this surface, I'm suspecting that they should be fine. And if you look at the Paramount innings, 149 to win. Foster started off quite well, 27 from 23. Dino McInnes also started well, 22, but in the end got a lot of dot balls and then got out. And Davian Codner also was playing well, but then decided to reverse sweep the off spinner and was stumped beautifully by Paul Chin. And Kartik ran out, I think, unnecessarily in his innings. And Rickel, who stayed there for quite some time, mustered up 15 runs from 14 deliveries, managed one huge 6 in the leg side, the first over of Vic's over, but then Vic came back and bowled beautiful to him. And Conroy also played really well for his 22 out of 16 deliveries. Unfortunately, got out at a crucial time, and is the difference between that score being 160 and what it is, 148 at the moment. And again, let's look at the bowlers now for Norwest, Andre. What are your thoughts?
I think the pick of the bowler for me has sometime it don't show his mighty. I think he's the one that started the pressure. And the team, he bowled 4 for 29 and took 2, but he's the one that started to build the pressure. Unfortunately, a 6 that the field had misjudgment. If you put that aside, that would be a wicket, and his figure that look totally different. But him and Willis, he's the one that really pulled back the game.
I have to agree with that as well, because Mighty started out quite well, and if not for that drop catch or missed chance, his figures would have probably read a lot different. But he still kept going and started that pullback after Paramount was going so well, and in the end, probably would have had figures of somewhere of 3 or so for less than 29 runs, but ended up with 2 for 29 or 4 overs. Still a fantastic effort on this good batting surface. And Omar Willis, who has now the pick of the stats on his overs for 1 for 20. And I mean, I just think between both of them and Vic to some extent, really put a lid on that Paramount innings. And I've got to be able to recognize those bowlers. So when Mighty started the process, Omar picked up on that at the other end and bowled beautifully. And they're rewarded now with a runs chase that I think is quite possible. And on such a good surface, they do have Patrick Heron in their lineup, who is quite destructive. And I believe Paramount is going to try to get him out. But at the innings break, as I promised, I'm joined by one of our executive board members, Mr. Robert Cox, who is here with us. And Robert, earlier I had a conversation on here with Andre McCarthy, who was quite vocal in his happiness with seeing the work that you, the board, and everyone has been doing. And I would love for you to just sort of share what the objective has been for this year and how much work did it take to get to this stage?
Thank you. The objective this year, obviously, is to improve the infrastructure of Cayman Cricket and the facilities that the players have to train, to practice, and to play. And as you alluded to earlier, we had a decision made through meetings that we will try and do infrastructure improvements this year. And one of the main things that we wanted to improve, obviously, would have been the nets. You would have seen the deplorable state of the nets over the last few years, and it is my thought that the deplorable state of the nets drove people away, and we wanted players to come back. And what I can show you here is a couple of clips that we would have taken over the past few nights, past few days of the construction, and we can speak to what's actually going on here. So what you're seeing there is the guys getting a little knock at night where we were actually just doing some testing and knocking around. We had quite a few people there, including ladies as well. And as you can see in the shot, all 4 nets are actually being utilized at that point in time. What you see there is the center wicket, the center concrete artificial surface at the Smith Road Oval. We had to relay that as well. As you are aware, the undersurface under the carpet was only crusher run material, which caused the carpet undersurface to deteriorate. And over the years, it just got worse and worse. And we made a decision that had to be repaired as well. It's all about making sacrifices and getting the infrastructure.
Morning.
So we relayed that surface. We haven't installed the carpet as yet.
Just
the concrete is in.
On Smith Road Oval.
We are hopeful to get the matting in probably another week or so.
Which is being replaced by concrete.
That surface as well available for practice and matches.
Just on a question on this, and it was on air. McCarthy was making mention of the fact that he's noticed that a lot more cricketers are coming out and being more involved. Are you getting the desired results that as a board set out to get in the objective of making such a fundamental change to the infrastructure?
So we are testing the lights here at Smith Road.
Absolutely. As I alluded to earlier, all 4 nets were actually in use when we took those photos. And what I got coming through from a number of players who would have been there that night, some players who were not, they have indicated that definitely they will come back and start training again. The facility has been improved 1,000%. When we started to do the construction, we did not envisage this facility, but as construction grew, we saw areas where we could improve as the funding allowed, and we just build and build to what we actually have today. So I'm very excited, very excited that we have a facility, a world-class facility, which our players will be able to use late into the evening. We have lighting, and we can play up till 11 o'clock if we want. And I'm very excited to have this facility in place.
Rob, it's amazing. I'm pretty sure you would have encountered challenges along the way. I say that this Cayman Cricket developed in record time and just in time to the rest of the season. I know you're looking forward to a number of big tournaments this year. And what are your thoughts on having these facilities in place before those tournaments?
I think it was absolutely crucial that we got these facilities in place before our travels this year. Next month, April, we are hoping to host the North American Cup this year and next year. It's a 2-year project, and these facilities will be ready in time for our national team to train. We also have coming up the World Cup qualifiers in Canada, Toronto, Canada, in June. And again, like I said, these facilities will be available for our national team to train. So I think it's very timely for us to get these facilities ready for our team so that our team has the best facilities available. And now it's up to them. The ball is in their court. And we have put everything that we could in place.
Right now,
money that's gone into
explain what you're doing with the rope.
Down here.
Yeah.
Basically, we hope that the players appreciate what Cayman Cricket has done. We
Explain
are
what
not by any means finished. We still have a number of projects
what are you doing?
in the pipeline, and we hope to get these projects out this year.
All right. So it's a weight, a counter weight for the net so that the net stays loose, but it doesn't have to. The ball don't actually cause any impact that will damage the nets, or the ball won't go under the net. So the weight, the rope is a counter weight for the net, but not hard enough for it not to cause a problem, but soft enough for the ball to absorb the impact, for the net to absorb the impact. Well done, boys. So Cotton have been here all day. Where Edwards? What? That's gone. That's disappeared. All right, cool, no problem. All right, anyway, the nets, we're almost there. All the nets are in place now, basically. Cotton and his trusted partner, Wire and Edwards.
What are your prospects
that
for the
was
rest
here
of the
all
year
morning. So
in
these
regards to
will be
facilities? Are there any other
same thing will happen
projects
over here.
you would
We'll
like
put
to
rope
mention
and strap
in
to
this
the
interview?
metal pole.
Absolutely, we are looking to
all the
build a
nets are in
similar
place
facility
now, including the
that we
overhead.
have at Smith Road.
And
We're
we're pretty
looking to see
much
if we
on
can
the home stretch.
implement one of those
And right now,
facilities at the
Prezi,
Jimmy Powell
even
Oval
off
as
the
well.
ball has run
We are
up
currently in
area,
negotiations
and now we're
with
gonna
a
add some
number of
additional
parties, getting quotes
additional
and
material
getting
to this area.
people in the right places
That press
who
mound
can
over there is
provide,
planning to do
for instance, a tree
like a
pitch
mound where you can sit on the bank
facilities, artificial
and watch the
facility
game. So
at the
that's
Jimmy
the raw
Powell
material
Oval.
we're
We
gonna
already
use.
have a foundation
And then here now we're
laid
going to add
there,
additional
and
material
very soon you'll be hearing a lot
in
more
order
about
to.
that.
So this is
And
press
yes,
work
Jimmy
for the
Powell will
guys
be
to
on
do.
stream for
So
a number
basically
of our
get the
players
run up
who
smooth
live in the
into
West
the
Bay area.
artificial surface
They wouldn't
area,
necessarily have to come
and
to
then
town
basically run up
to
to the ball and
practice. They
crease
can be using
into the actual
the
net. We
facility
also
at the
got
Jimmy Powell
the
Oval as
pins.
well. But I
This
just
paint
want to
is
mention
the
one
ones
point,
you use on
and
the tennis
it
court.
goes back to something you
Basically, you
alluded to
add
earlier.
this
The players have chipped in
component inside
tremendously.
there
A
that
number of
basically
players came out
gives like a grit
and offered their
sandy
assistance,
feel
and they're
to the
label
base.
free, of course,
And then the
because
paint
they
is
see
the
what we're
protection.
trying
So
to
right now the
achieve.
guy is just kind of
And
cleaning this
a number of the
area
players came out and
to make
help
it
us
nice and dust free.
to do
And
stuff
then
that we would
later
necessarily
on they will try
have to
to
pay for. So I
start
must compliment
adding these
a
cardboards
number
here
of the players who
to the
came out
sides
and
in order
helped
to
us
stop the
tremendously.
paint from touching the artificial grass.
I know there
And then they'll roll this up, but unfortunately the paint cannot be painted while it's hot. It has to be cool. The concrete has to be cool, so this most likely will be tomorrow morning or late tonight. Depends on how the guys feel after doing all this work today to finalize the nets. This is
Absolutely,
really a
but you're
labor
going
of
to
love,
run
I'm
me
being
in
honest
trouble
with
now
you.
because inevitably I'm going
You
to
know, we didn't get any
forget
special
somebody's name
funding
and
or
then
anything like this to
they'll say
work
their
on the
name
nets,
wasn't
so
called.
it was just
But yes,
basically
we had
us
Romario Edwards,
getting together and
we
making
had,
sure
Davian
we do
Codner
what we
came
can
out.
to get it done,
We
to
also
pull
had
together to get it done.
Waya Andrew
So
Blackwood,
board
we
is
had
really,
Demara
really working
Johnson,
hard as best as can.
we had Sheldon
Push a number of
Edwards,
projects through.
and we had Marvin Swat. I also need to mention Jalen Linton, who put in a tremendous amount of work. All of the welding and stuff to get the poles up. His company did, and you put me under pressure now. The number of names that I know that
I could
can
help
be
you a
called.
bit there.
Please help me.
I actually saw quite a number of those players, and in Morris was another player that I saw in the shot.
Correct.
Who was also there helping. I think you mentioned Sheldon Crawford earlier. He's a former international
Right now,
He was there
Cotton, explain what you're doing with the rope. Yeah.
I know, as you said earlier, we probably missed a few players.
Hold on, I'll make
but
why explain
those
it.
guys
Explain
were
what
out
Cotton
there
doing with the
in
rope,
sun,
boy.
helping to get this surface.
Basically, what are you
facility
doing?
prepared. And we're just happy to be able to mention this. And Rob, this is
All right. So it's a weight, it might be a counter weight for the net so that the net stays loose, but it doesn't have to, the ball don't actually cause any impact that will damage the nets, or the ball won't go under the net. So the weight, the rope is a
Absolutely,
counter
we
weight
have always had a net
for the net.
designated for
But not
the women
hard
to
enough
participate. They get
for
priority
it not
in
to
the
cause a
net.
problem.
We haven't had
soft
our
enough for the
official
ball to
opening
absorb the
ceremony yet,
impact,
but
for the
one
net
of
to
the
absorb
nets
the
will be named after a female.
Well done,
who,
boys. So Cotton have been
has
here all
contributed
day.
quite
Where
a bit
Edwards?
to
What?
cricket in the Cayman Islands. And the ladies will have
That's
first
gone.
priority
That's
in that
disappeared.
net every
All
day.
right, cool, no problem.
And
All right, anyway, the nets,
once the ladies
we're
want to play,
almost
the
there.
ladies will get priority.
All the nets
And
are in place now.
if the ladies are not there, then the other gentlemen can use it. But yes,
Cotton
definitely
and his
the ladies will have.
trusted
Then one of the
partner,
things
Waya
that ICC has mentioned to us this year
and,
is that this year
Edward,
is the year of the
that
woman,
was here.
and we
Mark, so
need to
these
bring
are-
our
these
ladies
will be-
cricket back. So I'm
Same
hoping
thing
that
will
ladies
happen
who
over
are
here. We'll
listening
put rope and
to
strap
our
to the
commentary here
metal
today
pole,
will
but as
will
you
come
can
on
see,
back, come back to
all
cricket
the nets are in place
and
now, including
join
the
the team
overhead.
and get
And
some
we're pretty much
cricket
on the
and get
home
some
stretch. And right
exercise
now,
in and help
Prezi,
rebuild
even off the ball has run
women
up
cricket. And while you're coming,
area,
bring along
and
a,
now
a
we're going
young
to add
a
some
young lady as
additional,
well. And you know, help us
material
get our cricket back, our women's cricket
this
back in
area.
action.
Well, Rob, this
That's
has been a
Press Mound
fantastic
over there. He's
interview.
planning to do a
Very pleasing to
like
hear
a
this, and I'm
mound
pretty
where you
sure
can
the
sit
cricket
on the
community
bank
is quite happy to
and
see
watch
what's
the game.
happening, and there's
So
no
that's the
transcending
raw
on the
material we're
field.
going to use.
And it's
And
just
then here now we're going to
fantastic
add
see
additional
as we get
material
prepared for the run
in
chase
order
by the
to.
Northwestern
So
team
this is
against Paramount.
Press working with the guys to
The
do
field
this
is
business.
set,
So basically,
and looks like national team captain Conroy Wright, who's going to be bowling first up to Patrick Heron, and it looks like a very compact offside field, and I'm sure the plan here is to maybe get at Patrick Heron, who is a very destructive player, loves to go after the ball in early. So it's going to be good to see this run chase, 149 to get. And Rob, that was just so informative, and I'm really excited for the team, for the Cayman Cricket Board and Cayman Cricket in general, and looking forward to a very exciting year as Conroy prepares to go in for his first delivery of this Northwestern run chase. And he starts with a lovely delivery on the offside. That's pushed into the offside by Heron, and it looks to be summing up the pace of the wicket. Conroy tends to get a bit quicker as his over goes on, and that delivery hitting good areas. Not a lot of pace on that delivery, but hitting really good areas. And you can't afford to miss your line and length to Heron. He loves the ball wide outside the off stump and hits through the offside pretty freely. I love the delivery. That one looks like it just shaped away with the angle. And Conroy started out pretty well here. His second delivery, as I welcome my co-commentator, Michael, who has joined us here, another local cricketer who will have some knowledge about most of the players here. And Michael Reed, I know earlier we were talking about track and field, and I know you've got a son who is into track and field, so that must have been an interesting topic for you. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Sandy, and I must say good evening to all the viewers as Conroy runs in to bowl to Patrick Heron as he plays that one on the offside and goes for a quick single. Yes, Jaden Reed is, heating up the tracks there for LSU and the Cayman Islands. As a family, we're so proud of him, and I want to publicly say, congratulations to all your exploits, in track and field.
Well, Michael, I would say I myself followed his exploits so far. So proud of the young man. And I know he got that talent from his mom and not you.
Yes, people been saying that. They've been calling me the Pink Panther.
But it is really good for the young man. So it's quite interesting. I'd love to hear what's going on with him now. What's new is a Cayman Islands national athlete. So we'll be quite interested to hear what's going on with him. And another delivery outside the off stump. And you can see Conroy is just picking up a little bit of the pace now. And even though Heron, well, no, I feel that's on strike. I think that delivery carried quite nicely to the keeper. So is he away in university now?
Yes, he's a sophomore now. And he was able to get to the NCAA finals, indoor finals.
That's fantastic. What is the time looking like for him these days? He's running the 100 meters and 200, is it?
Yes, he's running 260 meters right now indoors. Conroy comes up now and bowls to a young Ifo as he looks a little bit uncertain outside the off stump. As we're looking on the ground here, we can see a very compact offside. We have the man called Pimped, Kevin Basel, is on the long off inside the circle there. And yes, Jaden is doing quite well at 200 meters. I think that's one of his favorite events. He ran a record time for the Cayman Islands the other day of 20.27.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear. And Well, let's see, after this delivery, Conroy is going full. It's a no ball. It's bowled him with a no ball.
Oh my God.
And the extra effort just took his front leg over the line. And very unfortunate for Conroy Wright. However, Eiffel will live to fight another day. And they came through for a single to add insult to the injury. And Conroy is just looking there at where he's landed. And the umpire was certain he was over the line. That's quite disappointing for Conroy. However, it's a lovely delivery, full, and seemed to shape back into the left-hander. Lovely delivery. But Michael, is there anything lined up this year for track and field for the Cayman Islands National Track and Field Program and young Jaden?
Well, yes, I think there are a few meets, and we're just hoping that he will be fit to, try and see what he can do in the region, regional meets, that is.
Well, I must say, I can hear it in your voice. You are a proud father, and quite rightly so. But we wish him all the best. Do send our regards to him. Hopefully he's joining into the broadcast. But really good to hear that he's doing well, and wish him all the best for Cayman Islands, and looking forward to seeing his exploits in the future.
Yes, thank you. I will take that on behalf of him, and I will extend it to him. As we come to the first over, end of the first over here, we're looking at...
That's a good over by Conroy Wright. And we're gonna... There seems to be some four runs off that first over, and very interesting over where a no ball, Eiffel was bowled off a no ball, and Conroy Wright started off outside the line of the off stump, continued to generate some pace, and very interesting by Paramount here. Kevin Basil is going to bowl from the far end here, Jimmy Powell, and he's going to bowl his off spin and in the power play, and he's going to be bowling to Patrick Aaron. This must be some sort of tactical plan, Michael. And I noticed that they have a man at wide long on, and the other fielder is deep on the offside, the two men outside the circle. There must be some sort of plan, and I'm assuming that the line to Heron would be just on the off stump.
It has to be. It's almost cow corner. As we know, as Pim comes up, and this one is played outside. Right, so Mr. Morris, I know you've been itching to touch on some of the athletics, but you're also in the spotlight.
I try not to be, but unfortunately,
Well, you have to be, because I was here last week in the commentary box, and I was, talking a little bit about, what I'm seeing around and the buzz that, cricket is creating once more. So that's very good.
Well, earlier we had an interview with Rob Cox, who is a member of the board, and went through in detail a lot of the infrastructure development that is happening, and it was really a fantastic interview. We were briefed on most of the